The 2024 MLB season has had its fair share of young players breaking out, especially those in their first season at the major league level. The rookie class this year is making some noise, with players like Paul Skenes, Luis Heel, and Joey Ortiz getting the majority of media coverage about halfway into this season, and they deserve it 100% in my opinion. These are guys who were playing in high school a couple of years ago and now are exceeding expectations in one of the most competitive baseball leagues in the entire world. Being a rookie in MLB is really difficult. Top prospects struggle all the time, which makes it that much more impressive when rookies succeed at the Major League Baseball level. Just look at what happened to Jackson Holliday when he got his chance this year, or Jackson Churio, who hasn't quite been able to replicate much success month to month. But a name that doesn't get talked about all that much in MLB media is San Diego Padres center fielder Jackson Merrill. The Padres drafted him 27th overall in the 2021 MLB draft. He's had a very interesting journey to the major leagues so far, and not the typical path that many players take. He got to high A at the start of the 2023 season and there posted a 762 OPS and 300 plate appearances. Pretty good, but not the production you want out of your first round draft pick and one of the lower levels of the minor leagues. In spite of this, he was then promoted to Double A at San Antonio, Texas. There, he was able to improve on a lot of stuff in terms of hitting, like walking more and striking out less. He finished that year in Double A with a 782 OPS and a 104 WRC+, barely above the league average by many different stat categories. However, in spring training this year is where Merrill really found his stride at the plate. In limited games, he slugged .548 with 5 extra base hits in just 45 plate appearances. It was for this reason that he completely skipped AAA and was immediately brought up to the Padres, who were in need of help in the outfield after the Juan Soto trade. Players don't often skip AAA just because it's proven to have stunted players' development. But in this case particularly, it is more than worked out for the now 21-year-old rookie and the Padres franchise. He has played in 83 of the team's 87 games, which is one of the highest marks in baseball and fairly impressive for a center fielder where injuries are sometimes commonplace. Availability is one of his best attributes as a player, but it's definitely not the only thing that he can do on the field. Merrill's first month of big league action went very well for someone who skipped AAA entirely. He put up a 696 OPS throughout the month of April, which is right at the MLB average for this year. In May, he completely stopped drawing walks, which led to a dreadful 295 on base percentage, well below the league average. The power still wasn't quite there either, but a rookie who hits at about the average level and plays really solid defense in center field isn't going to get sent down to the minors just yet. And it's a good thing the Padres didn't send him down because his month of June would be one of the best in the entirety of Major League Baseball. Merrill hit 2 home runs on June 12th against the A's to kick off his hot streak at the plate. After an off day on the 13th, he then hit 2 in a 3-game set at Citi Field versus the Mets. He cooled off for a bit before hitting one on both the 19th and 20th, including a 3-hit day with 6 total bases on the 20th against the Brewers. Then, against the Red Sox this past weekend, Merrill has driven in 5 runs in 3 games, thanks to 2 more home runs and a couple doubles. In 17 games since June 12th, Merrill has hit 9 home runs in just 67 plate appearances. This would be the best mark in the league if not for Shohei Ohtani's 10 home runs since the 12th. Merrill had hit 3 home runs over the first 60 or so games of his season. So how did he all of a sudden start hitting for power out of nowhere? Most hitters need to hit fly balls in order to hit home runs, and Merrill is no different. From March 20th to June 11th this season, he had a fly ball rate of 30%, but during this hot streak, it's been over 50%. He's not hitting the ball that much harder than he was before the streak, but putting it in the air instead of on the ground has led to more power numbers instead of just weak ground balls. He's also been hitting more line drives too, which have by far the highest hit expectancy rate. Merrill's sudden transformation in power ability this season has simply been to start hitting the ball higher off of his bat. He's squaring up the ball about 20% of the time during this stretch, which is a lot more than the normal hitter does. He's not even really drawing walks and is actually striking out noticeably more than he was from March to May. While that's obviously not a good thing on its face, it's possible that to get a bigger swing for more power, he just has to strike out more, and it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. The last thing that I'm going to mention in this video is his defensive ability out in center field. So far this season, he has 3 outs above average according to StatCast and has one of the strongest arms in the major leagues, which is pretty surprising for a 21-year-old outfielder. A lot of rookies who are good at something usually just have that one skill, whether it's hitting, defense, or base running. The development process for them is figuring out how to become better at things they're not already good at. Jackson Merrill does not have this problem, and he's only going to get better. He won't keep up this hot streak he's been on forever, but if the Padres can take anything away from it, it's that he has some pop when he's swinging the bat well, and that they're going to be set in center field for a long time to come.